Okay, very quickly, I'm going to talk about standards very quickly because other things to do now. Um, yeah, standards. Now, don't get me wrong, my opinion on standards is that we need them. We need to know what the genetic potential is of a breed. So we definitely need them. And of course we have the numbers. We take the numbers that are sent back to us. We then work out, okay, what is the average of the top quartile. So that gives us what our genetic potential is of a breed. So that's a very useful thing to have. My worry with that is the fact that it's the average of the top quartile. So that means that the vast majority of operations don't achieve that standard. And if you don't achieve it, by how much do you not achieve it by? So here, look at this one. Operation 1 is on standard. Operation 2 is below standard by 10%, and then Operation 3 will be below standard by 20%. And it's what is the motivation to improve? So Operation 2 here, because it's 10% below standard, it's going to try and achieve something, it's going to do something, but Operation 3, too far away. So he's not going to bother, and Operation 1, well, he's on standard anyway, so why would he even try to improve? And that to me is not getting the best out of any operation. So setting your own standards allows an achievable, ever improving goal. Well, I think that's the key thing. What I've done in the past is always worked it out. You work out what are your averages for your flocks going down, and then work out what are your losses. And then from your losses, I take 20% of those losses and I want to remove it from your losses. So for example, if I'm losing 10%, then my standard is going to be to lose 8% rather than 10. If I'm losing 20%, then my standard is going to be to lose 16% rather than 20. So we just show you here. So this is one that's already on standard, and you'll see if this is my infertile, for example, then this is where my goal is going to be. It's going to be a little bit lower. So I'm going to try and improve how many I'm going to lose from that. And early mortality, you'll see it's always going to be a little bit lower. But of course, the smaller the numbers, the smaller the gains I'm trying to achieve, because it's going to be more difficult. If we look here, this is the 20% losses. So you'll see that the gains are, I'm going to try and claim back a little bit more and a little bit more again. Now, if we put all these together, you'll see exactly what I mean, just on the infertile, but they're the same throughout. You will see that the improvements, depending on how many I'm losing, means I'm going to ratchet it back. So if we take the pretty extreme there, 32% losses, my target's going to be 25.6. 10.5 is going to be 8.4, and 5.4 is going to be 4.3. So the closer or the more you reduce your losses, the less that's going to have an impact, because it becomes more difficult to reduce them by. But it means we never actually stop trying to reduce our losses, which is basically the difference between an operation that does okay and an operation that does phenomenally well. My point would be you review that every 6 to 12 months, and you do need a good 12 months data in the first place. When I've gone into operations, depending on how good or otherwise that an operation may be, I tend to have a 2 to 5 year plan. Most of the time now it's a 2-year plan, but if it's a very old hatchery with a lot of problems, then I work on a 5-year plan. But that 5-year plan is actually to get me to where the standard is. And the idea behind that is to give the people in those operations the tools to do that. Okay? And I hope that helps you understand where I'm coming from with the standards. Okay, thanks.